Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to another edition of the Shooters Lounge podcast. I am your host, Matt, at PostUp323. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, on YouTube. We're also live on the artist formerly known as Twitter X. And you can also follow the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, whatever, Apple, all them other podcast hosts. With me tonight is the returning GM John. GM, it's good to have you on again, bro. It's been a while.
Yeah, man. What's good? Yeah, been a while. Kind of been missing a couple of basketball games these days, but I decided I'll watch this week, and yeah, I'm raring to go.
I just thought you barricaded yourself in a bunker and you're just on the trade machine, just trying to get some trades on the go, or is that not what's happened? Or
no, that is the dream. That's definitely the dream. Like that's my dream scenario. But no, since the trade deadline, I lost my love. It'll come back, but I've lost my love for the trade machine at this moment in time. More so focused on like the NFL draft simulator, like the for mock drafts. So like I moved on to that for the moment, but it'll come back soon when the season ends.
It's NFL draft season coming up, bro, isn't it? So that's where men such as yourself earn their money, isn't it, bro?
100%. I wish I could make money off it.
I know, yeah, like you say, that's the dream, bro, isn't it? To be paid for your advice, mate. But this evening you're giving your advice for free, which is always much appreciated, bro. So always a pleasure to have you on. Got a packed show tonight, guys. So we'll kick off the first. We're kind of getting it's. There's literally about 10 or 12 regular season games left now. So we're kind of getting to the point now is seedings, who's in the play-in, who's not. So I just kind of wondered if you got any thoughts, John, in terms of teams who are trending upwards, or maybe teams who are in a little bit of free fall, who aren't doing so well going into the playoffs. Have you got any teams who you think are kind of trending upwards at the moment, where you think they're looking good coming, this late in the regular season now, when you're looking at the playoffs and seedings and matchups, have you got any teams that you think are kind of trending upwards, who are kind of making a late surge maybe, or kind of looking to get a higher seed?
I have three teams that are really surging at this moment in time. Obviously, you've got the Boston Celtics that are on a 9-game win streak.
Yeah.
Playing great team basketball. Unfortunately, but no, they're
pains really you to say that, bro, don't it? Pains you. That little pain in the heart there, bro.
Pains me to my core, but you have to tell the truth. They're playing great basketball at the moment. It's a very deep roster, good coaching. They're really playing well together. And KP was a really good player to bring in for them, and I think he's doing a really good job. Yeah. Tatum's always as good as usual. Jaylen Brown hasn't looked as great, but he's still playing at a fairly high level. And then you got players like Derek White, who's doing really well at the moment, who won, pretty sure he won Player of the Week or Player of the Month today. But yeah, they're playing great basketball. My Lakers are playing relatively well. They're on I think in the last 30 games or something like that, they're 20-9 or something like that, which is pretty good. I'll take that away. But for how many players have been injured throughout the course of the year, like we still haven't seen, what's his name? Point guard.
Gabe Vincent, yeah?
Yeah, haven't seen him yet.
No.
Which is unfortunate. Then we're missing Christian Wood for the rest of the year. And then we're probably going to be missing Jared Vanderbilt for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. So it's encouraging that we're still kind of chucking along with this team. But yeah, we've only lost 3 games in the last 12 or 13, but it was only 2 of them are against the Warriors and one's against the Nuggets. So yeah, they're good teams to be competing against. And my final team is the Houston Rockets. The Rockets, I think, are on an 8-game win streak.
Yeah, won 8 straight, bro. Yeah.
Which is really surprising for I don't think that they've been relevant in quite a long time, but no, they're playing good basketball. Jalen Green is playing really good basketball. He's playing at a really high level. He's starting to show the elite potential he had coming out of the G League Ignite team. Cam Whitmore's not bad. Sengun's in. I think is Sengun still injured, or is he think he's still injured.
He's still out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's a
Yeah,
timetable.
he got a grade 3 sprain, which is bad. Fred VanVleet's been good. Dylan Brooks has been good. Amen Thompson
Emma
is not
Thompson,
bad
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Like, they have a good young roster. Jabari Smith Jr. is good. Cam Whitmore's good. I actually forgot Victor Oladipo's on their roster, but yeah, they're all been playing really good basketball at this moment in time. They're definitely a team on the up. They're still not winning anything anytime soon, but no, trending in the right direction, which is great to see. Is there any teams that you have that you think are trending in the right direction at the moment?
I had the Rockets too, man, because obviously, they've kind of they've come out of nowhere, haven't they? They look dead and buried kind of thing, and Udoka's kind of got them to a point now where they're playing a lot better basketball. Since Şengün's got out, they've kind of just I think they've lost one since he's been out or something ridiculous. So they all seem to have a chip on the shoulder. They're all like, they've got Dylan Brooks, haven't they? Cam Whitmore, Jabari Smith, they all seem to have a chip on the shoulder all the time. They're beefing with people on the court and things. And I think that's kind of Udoka's kind of personality, isn't it? I think we kind of saw that a bit with Boston. And they kind of started the season well, but then they kind of just fell off the wagon, didn't they, a little bit in the middle of the season. But now they've kind of turned it around. They've won 9 out of the last 10. Since Şengün's been out, Jalen Green's like just gone off. He's averaging nearly 28 a game, shooting 41% from 3. He's showing, what most kind of NBA fans knew, that he got like the potential to be somebody, to be a good player in the league, and I think now he's kind of showing it. They've got Fred VanVleet there. He's the kind of adult in the room, isn't he? Amongst a lot of young talent. Again, he's averaging like 20 and 10 assists since Şengün's gone out, shooting like nearly 50% from 3 or something ridiculous. So they've kind of stepped up since then, and they're kind of hot on the heels of the Warriors, aren't they? I think they're a game back now in the win column. So they could make the play-in. We could have a scenario where Steph Curry isn't even in the play-in, which, I don't know, if you're the NBA, this is a disaster. Like, you need the big games and in the playoffs or in the play-in, don't you? For them guys, it must be like sweating a bit. I think is the.
I pray he's not there.
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys, you're probably going to face the Warriors, aren't you, in the first play-in? So as it stands at the moment, anyway, should I say? But you wouldn't bet against Curry in a Game 7 situation, would you? You don't want to do that, do you? But another team who I thought of was the Pelicans. Like the last couple of weeks, Zion's kind of looking similar to kind of Duke Zion, and and there's a lot of alley-oops, a lot of dunks going on, and it's like, oh, here we go again. And whether it lasts, who knows? With Zion, you just never know, do you? He'd turn up in another few weeks and he's overweight and things. But at the moment, he seems like he's really like zoned in. And, the Pelicans, they're kind of a deep team. They've got a lot of bodies they can throw at you. Big team as well, aren't they? They put some matchups they put out there are just crazy. They got Zion, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Ingram, and they're just long. They're just all long, big dudes, like, and it's just and they played the Clippers the other week. They just put this massive 5 out there, and it's just like, yeah, go on, try and dribble around or try get in the paint with this lineup, and it's just like
overwhelming.
So, a little bit, mate. Yeah, so I mean they're 5th at the moment, but hot on the heels of the fourth seed, they could definitely make the 4th seed. I think the top 3 are kind of in certain order, are kind of given now, aren't they? Nuggets, Thunder, Timberwolves in some order, whichever orders that's going to be like,
It's been nuts that the likes of the Timberwolves are still doing so well, and even though Karl Anthony Towns is kind of like he's injured now at the moment, like they're doing really well. It just seems like some of these teams are losing their bigger and better players. They're just pushing on with it and find next guy up kind of mentality. Yeah. Like with the Rockets, shit, if Sengun is holding him back, I'll take his ass at the Lakers any day.
Going to get rid of Şengün now. Yeah, we don't need him anymore. It's fine. Yeah, we found something else. But yeah, like you said, mate, I was on this podcast, the last podcast me and the Philosopher did, and I was the one who was saying that I think the Timberwolves might be better without Towns. I think it simplifies things more, and I think Edwards is going to take and lead the team. It's going to be his team, and Towns isn't going to be out there doing dumb things in the playoffs. But he might be back for the playoffs. But I was kind of thinking they might be just as good, if not better, without Towns. Might be a controversial thing to say, but
I think that they still are a better team with Cat in the lineup, but it's just him and Gobert. I don't. Not that they're occupying the same space all the time. It just doesn't work. Like you've got 2 7-footers, 2 guys who aren't. Well, Towns is, but they're not overly mobile in the front, like in their at their forward positions.
Yeah,
and obviously you have an uber athlete like Edwards. But yeah, they're still a really, really strong team. But yeah, I honestly could see one of them guys. I could see one of Towns or Gobert being traded. Gobert's contract is pretty like an Alcatraz, like albatross. Like it's going to be very hard to get rid of.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to move, isn't it, that, bro? I think if somebody's going to get moved, it's going to be Towns probably because it's a more team-friendly contract, I'd say. Even though he's on a lot of money too. But yeah, I think. Yeah. But Gobert's been better this year than he was last year. So he's been better defensively than he was last year. Apparently he was hurt last year. Whether you believe that or not, I don't know.
Bullshit.
But, yeah, you know, if you believe all the rumors, then nobody. Sometimes people just play bad, don't they, bro? You know, it's getting a new team or system, but sometimes people just don't play as they should. But I think he's been better defensively this year than he has been.
Absolutely.
Other teams looking at the East. You know, I'm thinking. You know, the Knicks are in 4th at the moment and could snatch the 3rd off Cleveland, man. You know, when you get to the playoffs and games are refereed different, and there's a bit more physicality, that's going to suit teams like New York, man, because that's how they play. That's how Tibbs teams play anyway, isn't it? So, I mean, you know, the Knicks could be a 3rd seed come the end of the season, and then, you know, who knows? I mean, the playoffs are all about matchups, bro. We know that, don't we? If you come up against the team you don't match up well with, it's over, innit? And it's over very quickly, like, you know. But you know, the Knicks could be a tough out, man. Come playoff time, you know, they've got Brunson, who's, you know, had a very good year. They've got good role players around there, haven't they? Like Josh Hart, DiMincenzo, Randall. They need to get Randall back, I think, if they want to make a serious kind of shot at doing anything. I'm not saying they're going to make the finals or anything, but I think, you know, they could make some noise. Maybe get to conference finals, man. Who knows? Who knows? But in terms of teams trading up, obviously.
Another team are kind of another team.
Yeah, go on, bro.
Say that again?
Yeah, I got you.
Another team I really like at this moment in time is the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I like. Still good.
I got you. I
think there's a delay.
Maybe a slight delay, man. You still there, dude? Oh, he's gone. Okay, he might come back in a sec. But yeah, the Orlando Magic are a team who've definitely, I think, exceeded expectations. Even the loyalist of Magic fans would say that they wouldn't have predicted how well it's going at the moment. You know, at the moment they're sitting in 5th, which is joint on wins. With the Knicks, so you know I'm saying the Knicks could steal the 4th CGM, but the Magic could also do it because they're level pegging with the Knicks, bro. So yeah, it's a good point, man. But what do you like from the Magic, man?
I just like how deep they are. They're not 15 man deep, but they've just got a lot of like really good basketball players. I really like obviously Paolo. It's great.
Yeah,
Like Franz Wagner, like Jalen Suggs, like Anthony Black, like Cole Anthony, Markel Fultz, Jonathan Isaac, Wendell Carter Jr., Gary Harris. They've just a lot of like good basketball players in that team.
Solid's the word, I think, bro, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's just solid across the board, like really good depth.
Absolutely.
Which really solid depth. So yeah, I really like them at the moment. They play good basketball. They play the right way. They play hard for each other. And I think because there's no one, like obviously Paolo's probably the only star on that team, but like they don't play. They play like a team. There's no one guy that they're looking to for every possession to take over. They're all kind of like all together. Like there's no iron team. Kind of that's the way they play each and every game. So yeah, they're a really solid team.
Them teams are hard to work out, John, aren't they? Because it's kind of like when you've got a superstar on your team, you know where the ball's going at the end of games. With that kind of a team, it's like it could be going anywhere. So it's hard to kind of figure out, I think, bro, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. You just don't know on any different possession. It could be Cole Anthony, it could be Suggs, Banchero, Wagner. Like you just don't know on every different possession. And like usually they're a team that like if they get hot, they're hot. And they have multiple players capable of getting hot and scoring in bunches. So yeah, it's a really solid team.
There's some great like feel-good stories as well with some of their players, isn't there? Like Isaacs was out for it felt like 3 years on and off. He was out for a very long time, and now he's playing again, and he's healthy, and he's contributing as well. And Suggs, man, people thought Suggs was a bust after his rookie season, but he's turned himself into quite a very, very good defensive player, and kind of found his role on this team, and obviously Fultz as well. He was kind of written off as well, and he's kind of trying to come back and contribute. So there is some quite like feel good stories on this team. I think it's a team that you can kind of get behind. You know what I mean?
100%. Like no, they're just a really, really solid team all across the roster. Again, do I think they're going to be winning anything this season or making like a big noise? I don't think so.
No,
but they're definitely trending in the right direction. That's for a team that young and that inexperienced. That's all I can ask for. It's just keep pushing forward and keep trying to make things happen. Maybe if they pick up a guy in free agency this year, I'm looking probably. I'm just trying to think now. What position would they go for?
There's a lot of Malik Monk rumors going on with Orlando for signing this summer. I don't know, obviously, if there's any truth to that, but there is a rumor about that swirling around this week. So is that the kind of player they want, who's just like an FU kind of player who's just like, I'm just going to go and take over games and stuff? I don't know. Monk and Banchero's a definite a fun tandem to think of, isn't it? But I think if the Magic get through round one, they'll be ecstatic, I think, won't they?
Oh, yeah.
They'd have taken that at the start of the year. We made the playoffs and we got through round one. They'd be ecstatic, wouldn't they, bro? I think
100%. They just want to be relevant again, and they are finally relevant again. Like they hadn't really been doing much since the Dwight Howard days, which is over a decade ago.
Yeah, it's been rough on it since then.
Close to nearly 15 years ago, actually. But it's just they've been. But they're never a superpower. Obviously, they had Shaq back in the day, and they're like Shaq and Penny. But they're a team that are worthy of playing. They're worthy of playoff basketball. They've been working hard this year, and they deserve to be in the position they are. And I'm like, fair play to them.
No, absolutely. So obviously, opposite what goes up must come down, as they say. So. Have you had any thoughts on which teams are kind of going the wrong way or not looking so good as the playoffs are upon us, John?
I have one. No, I have two. I have two, maybe three or four. Obviously, it
Everyone.
goes fully without saying the Detroit Pistons.
Okay, well, yeah.
Dear God. I just don't understand it. I don't understand how they've just like John. You have teams that have like a culture of winning. Like you'd
Yes.
have like throughout the decades, the Lakers, the Celtics, the Spurs. Like they've had a culture of winning.
Mhm.
This fucking group of dopes are just have a culture of just losing and losing and losing. Like at this stage is like it's nearly a joke. And it's like
It's not great, mate. It's not pretty, is it? Let's be honest.
I know they're alive, but like Isaiah Thomas and them guys would be turning in their graves if they were there.
Yeah,
After what's going on. But the worst part is they have good talent. Like
I
it's
mean,
not
they've got Cade, you know, who was the number one pick one year, you know.
yeah. They've got Cade, they got Jalen Duran, they have Jaden Ivey, they have Asar Thompson, they have James Wiseman, they have Isaiah Stewart, Danilo Gallinari, Monty Morris. Like they have a lot of good NBA players. Maybe not a superstar, but
No,
like,
yeah.
it's like I don't understand. They've been in the top 3 or 4 or 5 in the draft for years and years and years. I just don't understand how at this stage it's just it. Maybe what they're doing is what OKC was doing for years, just kind of like bottoming out and just picking up really good, like high lottery talent, and that's how they plan to build.
Yeah.
But god damn, if you're from Detroit or a Detroit Pistons fan, you must be fucking furious.
Yeah.
I
Sorry, go on, bro. Carry on.
I can't imagine paying like having a season ticket for the Detroit Pistons.
Ooh, yeah.
Like it must be like miserable.
Yeah. I can relate, mate. I had a tough 10 years being a Suns fan, mate. I feel what it's like. It's not good. It's not pretty. I think it's I kind of compare it to, you know, what the Patriots are going like, kind of cross referencing
Delighted.
to the NFL. You know, they won a lot of games for a long time, and now they're in that transition now where, you know, them staples have gone. The coach is gone, the quarterback's gone, the players, all them players who won all them games have gone. So now you're in a transition phase, aren't you? And it's how you approach that transition. And like you say, Detroit have had a lot of high draft picks. I think they've only had one number one pick, haven't they? But a lot of high lottery picks, haven't they? And it's what you do with them. Sometimes they're always in the lottery. But if you're not choosing the right people, then you're just kind of stuck where you are, bro, isn't it? Like you say. So, you know, I thought they've paid Monty Williams a hell of a lot of money, man. I think almost to the point where I don't think he even wanted to coach this season, mate, but they offered him that much money. He couldn't turn it away, I think he couldn't turn it down. He's like the highest paid coach in the league, apart from Pop, I think. It's ridiculous money, man. And he's obviously taking it because he's like, well, if they sack me, then you know, they've got to pay me out anyway. So it's just he's kind of left it at that. And you know, like you say, the culture thing, but maybe they thought Monty could come in and change it, but it doesn't look like it's happening right now. But is it going to be a 2-3 year project or what? What do you think? Well, yeah, this is it. I mean, you know, how long? Yeah, you know,
they don't. I wouldn't be shocked if Monty got sacked at the end of the year. I really wouldn't.
I wouldn't write anything off with that team, bro. Like that organization, I wouldn't write anything off, mate. Did they think he was going to come in straight away and turn it all around in less than a year? I don't know, but it's obviously not worked, has it?
I think they're smart enough to know that this is going to be a process.
Yes.
Like it's going to take time. But if you're Monty Williams, it's like clearly Detroit as an organization currently have got accustomed to and got used to losing. Like they're just used to losing. They've been losing for so long that they're kind of, it's not bred into them, but like they're okay with it. Whereas if you go to any other, like if you go to different organizations across the league, like the thought of losing is like make their stomach turn. But they just they just seem fine. Like yeah, they're just very, very poor team. Another bad team.
It's almost as if where, you know, when people say winning becomes a habit, also losing becomes a habit too, bro, doesn't it? Like you say, it can go the other way as well, and it's like, oh yeah, night in, night out, and it's just it just piles and it just mounts, doesn't it? And yeah, not good times in Detroit right now, bro.
Oh hell no!
It's rough out there, like you say. Shout out to any Detroit fans out there, man, because it's going to get. Hopefully, it doesn't get worse before it gets better, but hopefully, better times are ahead, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. Another team that's really sucking at the moment is the Toronto Raptors. They're on a 10-game losing streak.
Yeah,
which is bad. That's just bad. But but they're so devoid of talent. They just don't have it.
They got rid of everybody, didn't they?
Yeah.
Anybody with any talent, they let leave or got rid, except for, you know, whether you think Barnes is a good player, but everybody else they've gone, haven't they? Everybody's gone.
Oh yeah, I love Scotty Barnes, and I appreciate like players like RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly, but I just don't understand what they're doing. I don't get it. And I don't understand why they're kind of. They didn't need to blow things up. Like it wasn't 100% necessary.
No.
But yeah, they're awful. Who else?
You know, the striking thing with them, bro, is the fact that they've lost 10 straight. The Raptors have lost 10 straight and they're still 12th. Like, you know, that just kind of shows. I mean, you know, the Hawks are in 10th position at the moment, bro, and they're 31 and 39. So, you know, the East is a bit more. There's a lot more teams with a lot more losses than there is in the West. The West is kind of stacked, isn't it? There's 10, 11 very, very good teams in there. And then the East, it's kind of like, you know, the Nets are just, well, I don't even know what they're doing either. They're another candidate with the teams in freefall, maybe. Not sure what they're doing as an organization either, bro. But yeah, Raptors. I mean, the GM Masai Ujiri, he has the rep of being like this, you know, this mastermind. And like you say, I'm not really sure what the thought process is right now, because you're not gambling not for getting the number one pick, because apparently the draft this year is going to be like one of the worst talented drafts in a while. So it's not as if there's a Wembanyama in there or anything, is there? So you know, one of them franchise changing players, one of them dynasty kind of players, you know. So yeah, I'm not really sure what what the thought is in Canada, to be honest.
Do you want to know something funny? I was looking at the draft boards for this draft, and they're giving like player comparisons for some of these players. Yeah. And I can't remember who his name was, but I think he was like second overall, like drafted to go second overall. And his player comparison was Bruce Brown.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. Okay.
And I'm like, what?
So he's going too. Okay. All right.
And I was like, what? And I was like, yeah, Bruce Brown. I was like, his comparison, like length in his game. I was just like, that is not a compliment.
No. What? So he goes around kicking people in the face and stuff like that? Like,
yeah.
You know, what?
I was like, that's not a compliment. And then what was another one?
No.
Oh, I thought it was funny. I was going through all of them, and for any Laker fans out there, they'll remember this guy. There's a center from, I think it might be UCLA. He's in the second round. His player comparison was a guy called Chris Mim. And Chris Mim used to play for the Lakers back in the day. Wow. I was just like, my God, like that's horrific.
Yeah,
I remember Chris Mim. Like he was the first center I remember after Shaq when I was a kid. But God damn, that guy was not good.
Oh God. And that's the only compare he's got to Shaq after that. I mean, that's it. That's the only similarity they got. Yeah, he was the guy after.
But I was like, that's horrific. I'll just quickly go through other teams that are not playing particularly well. The Hornets not playing particularly good basketball, obviously because LaMelo's just been either choosing to sit out at this stage. Like he's probably still injured, so I'm not going to shit in the guy. But
that man looks far too happy for a guy sitting on the bench, mate.
He
I
does not
watched the
want to.
Suns versus the Hornets the other week, man, and that guy's laughing on the bench. They're getting blown out by us, mate, and he was just laughing on the bench like he was, just watching a game. It just didn't look interested at all.
He does not want to be there.
Well, I think that's probably another thing about it, isn't it?
He's just like obviously he probably has his dad in his ear saying, "Get to a big market, get to a big market, get to a big
Request
market."
a trade, get out, or something.
Yeah.
Oh god, jeez.
But they're terrible. The Nets awful.
Yeah,
truly, truly awful, which makes me happy.
What are you going against the Nets, bro?
I don't hate the Nets, but I love how every big swing they've ever taken has kicked them right in the dick every time.
That is actually correct. Yes, that is true.
They took a big swing. They took a massive.
You don't lose in the game if you don't play, bro.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
There is that, mate. Yeah.
But so they missed on KG and Paul Pierce. Gave up a king's ransom for two guys who are at the end of their fucking career. Then they went after KD and Kyrie. That didn't work. And then
Harden.
Harden didn't work. And then they brought in Ben Simmons. That didn't work.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn, you're just a piss poor team. The Jazz are awful. The Trailblazers are awful.
Yeah.
The Spurs, nothing gives me more pleasure than watching the Spurs lose. Nothing, I swear to God. I love watching that team lose. And
it's not going to be for long, bro. It's not going to be for long, mate.
They've lost 56 times.
That's just beautiful. Yes.
But I think it will. I think people are like, Pop's not going to live forever. Pop, maybe, I'd say 2 seasons. I'd say 2. He'll be gone. I think he'd be gone or dead in the next 2 seasons.
Wow. Okay.
Obviously, I'm not saying I'd wish death on Greg Popovich.
No. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, he's that goddamn old. Like,
how old is he? Is he in his 70s?
He's in his early 70s.
Wow. Yeah, he's been around a long time, man. He was coaching in the 90s, bro. Like,
He remembers World War II, probably.
Pop, what was it like during the Pearl Harbor?
Tell us about the greatest generation. But yeah, no, it's just I love watching them lose. And I don't get me wrong, I enjoy watching them as well for just Wembanyama and what he's doing there. It's just beautiful. I was about to say something really kind of pause-worthy, but he's a beautiful basketball player.
That's why we have Jon, bro.
Yeah, it's like he's a beautiful basketball player. Pause. In terms of the way he plays the game, Joe, he reminds me of, and it's a relatively old comparison. He reminds me of like the Iceman George Gervin. He just looks so smooth. Like obviously he's much taller, but he is just so smooth in how he does everything. Like
like when you get them people who are that tall, and when they run, it looks like it's painful to run. When he runs, he doesn't look like that. At the moment, anyway, he's young, and obviously at the moment he glides, like you say. It's not, you see when you see people like Sean Bradley run or Yao Ming back in the day, when they ran, they were like, oh man, it looks painful to kind of get up and down the court. With the Wembanyama, he just kind of glides everywhere, and it's crazy to see. I've never seen anything like it, to be honest. He's a definite unicorn. We've never seen a player like him, man.
One thing he does that's just beautiful. Like he's around the free throw line, and he has this spin move that he does at least once or twice a game, and he just spins directly into the paint.
Yeah,
and he just slightly finger rolls it into the basket.
Yes, with his left hand, he did it against us the other night.
Yeah, and
and I was like, "What the hell is that?"
You're like, "Oh, this guy." And I was like, "It looks generally like poetry in motion." You're just like, "This guy is offensively good at basketball."
Oh yeah, he did. What did he do? And he was in the corner on the 3-point line, and he was dribbling it through his legs, and then took a sidestep 3. Against us the other night, and it was just like people that tall should not be able to do that. It's almost like defies belief unless you're actually watching it. It's just like, it's almost like you're watching like cheat code on 2K or something. It's just like you're watching it and it's just like, this shouldn't be allowed. It almost defies belief and stuff, doesn't it? You know. But whether they can get people around him, I suppose, as the Spurs, because they've got some poor players, haven't they?
They're god awful.
Yeah, they've got some very poor. They've got some poor players on more money than probably they should be.
They've got Victor Wembanyama and then like 14 Thiago splitters.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was the white guy. I think he's a power forward. I can't remember his name, but he's on like 17 mil a year.
Zach Collins
for the Hawks. Zach Collins. He's on 17 mil a year, bro. Like it's not great, mate. It's not great. Vassell's okay, but he's on a lot of money as well. They paid him,
I like him. I like Soka and I like Kelvin Johnson, but
Sohan, he's a bit up and down, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, like his haircuts.
Have you seen him take 3 throws, man? He shoots them one-handed. Never seen anything like it.
You might as well just do a granny style.
Honestly, man, never seen anything like it. He's shooting it one-handed. I was like, what is happening? Pop, have a word, mate. Come on, bro.
But no, they're a very poor roster, and it makes me so happy seeing them fail. I want Pop to go out as a failure for the last couple of years. Like, he was gifted. I mean, gifted 2 generational teams with one with David Robinson and Tim Duncan, and then Tim Duncan and Manu and Parker. I was just like, I just want this fucker to fail.
And then got Kawhi after. You're like, come on, man.
Yeah. It's just like great drafting. Don't be wrong, absolutely fantastic.
Well, I mean, you've got to give it them, bro, haven't you? The scouting, they were on like the European player thing way before anybody was, bro. You've got to give it to them, haven't you? Whether you like them or hate them, they were ahead of the.
But they cheat. They cheat. They cheat and they cheat in how they get the picks. They cheat. It's to get Duncan. They basically.
Or do they just play the system, bro?
Yeah, but the system's.
I know. I hate them too, mate. I'm a Suns fan. I've lost to Spurs a lot, so yeah, I'm with you, mate. But trying to play devil's advocate,
like you was actually fair enough. You as a Suns fan, actually no. Like, you guys were like picking 4th for like 3 or 4 years in a row. And I was just like, and it feels like there's sometimes the rich get richer, and but them getting Wembanyama is just offensive. That is offensive. They got David Robinson that way, got Tim Duncan that way, and now they've gotten their franchise guy for the next 10, 15 years that way. It just makes me sick.
You're not ready. You're not ready for him to be good again, bro. I think that's all.
I hope. I just hope they're not good. I would love for him to be like Wembanyama, go like, yeah, I don't want to be here. I'm leaving. I'm like, I'm going to the Lakers. Me and AD are gonna light shit up for the next 10 years. Like, that'd be great.
Oh, mate, I think that's in your dreams, bro. I think.
I was like, LeBron's gonna pay till 50, and he's averaged 25 points a game.
Still, even then, still extending that prime, mate.
Was it starting 5 of Bronny?
Yeah.
LeBron, Wembanyama, and AD, and of course we had to have my guy Austin Reeves.
Oh, well, of course, absolutely, absolutely. I think you pretty much nailed a lot of the poor teams. I think the 76ers are in a bit of a free fall, haven't they, after Wembanyama's gone out, but that kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Embiid.
Embiid, sorry, yeah. You lose him, then it's going to go south, isn't it? And it looks like they're going to be in the play-in now. Is Embiid coming back? I don't know.
I don't think
all
he
things
is.
point to, but yeah, would you risk it? I don't know.
I think he's more focused on getting to the Olympics this summer.
Yeah,
I don't think he's on. I wouldn't. If you're not in a position to win and your roster, I'm not going to lie, their roster sucks.
It's not the best. It's not the best. I mean, Maxi's had a great year, hasn't he? He's had a great year. To be fair,
Maxi's good. Harris isn't bad. Oubre is decent. Bamba is meh. Then you
You got
have
Buddy Hield, which wasn't a bad pickup, I don't think.
That was a good pickup.
Yeah.
Then you got like Batum and is Covington still there? I think he is.
Yeah, he is. Doesn't he just alternate from Houston to Philly like every 2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
It's just like keeps going back and forth. I don't know. But yeah, like you say, I mean, Kelly Oubre, he's not been bad for them this time. If he's not getting run over by a car or anything,
so random.
Oh, we haven't had the full story of that yet, bro. I don't know what happened there, but something went on.
I don't think we ever will.
No, we probably won't. It'll come out after he's finished playing or something. But you lose your best player, bro. Any team's gonna, slide, aren't they? It kind of goes without saying, doesn't it? But yeah, I think you pretty much nailed it, bro. With the teams on there. To be fair, and anybody else you thinking of, or
no one else really comes to mind that are on like a really bad slip.
No,
the Cavaliers on a 3-game slide at the moment, but I'm still very confident that they're gonna have a good playoff run.
Yeah. What about your noisy neighbour Clippers? They're not 5-5 the last 10.
Delighted. Absolutely delighted.
Another delight. You're finally getting rid of him after this year, is it? Or is it next season?
No, it's this season coming.
It's this season. So, hey, mate, the noisy neighbours are getting their own shop. So
but their own shop is the Lakers' old one.
Yeah, true. But at least they're out the building and you haven't got to share the building, have you, and stuff. But
that makes me so happy. But the Clippers, they just keep doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. Like they have. I think PG is going to leave this year. I'm actually quite confident he is.
Yeah.
I think he just at times he just looks like he just looks like he gives a shit.
Yeah.
And I think
they lost to Philly last night. Very strange performance. Didn't look very interested, and Philly just come in and just punked them basically. And and the big three were there. Harden, Kawhi, George. They were all playing, and it just didn't seem to be players who were willing to do the little things and the effort kind of thing just didn't seem there to me. George said something weird the other day, didn't he? Where he was like, "Oh, we don't know what our identity is." You've been playing the regular season nearly over, bro.
4 or 5. How long have you been there? Since 6 years.
Very strange thing to say that was, man. Do you know what, mate? Honestly, I'll say something now, mate. But for me, those big three, mate, when things get hard, mate, they're out. They're checked out, bro. They're out of it. If it's difficult, we know Harden in the playoffs. We've seen it, haven't we? We've seen that movie over and over again, what Harden does when things get tough. I don't think George and Kawhi, you just never know with Kawhi. If his knee doesn't feel right, he won't play. So, they looked good at one point. They were like, what were they? They won 25-6, were they, in a certain span. But now I think in the last 20 games, they're 10-10. So, all the Clippers just being the Clippers. This is. Some would say they've missed Westbrook since Westbrook's been out, mate. But
they're injecting him into the starting lineup.
They are going to.
I think they plan to. Yeah.
Yeah, when he comes back, I think he's due to be back soon. Any Westbrook, I think. But they haven't been the same since he's been out, man.
No, not at all.
That bit of energy off the bench, man, is maybe what they need. But at one point, man, they were killing teams, mate. They killed Boston. At Christmas time, they were steamrolling people, man. And then all of a sudden, now it didn't look good. Last night's performance was quite disturbing. If I was a Clippers fan, I'd be, this close to the playoffs, I'd be thinking, what is going on? But can they switch it on again? The playoffs, maybe, mate, maybe.
The smart move for them, smart move for Paul George, would be go somewhere like Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They have about nearly 70 million cap space next year.
Yeah, because Harris's deal's over, isn't it? at the end of the season.
That deal felt like a 10-year deal. It felt like
honestly, it's been the longest 4 or 5 year deal in NBA history, hasn't it? I feel like people have been talking about it for like you say, a decade, doesn't it?
And he's probably going to get like a relatively good deal after this. But like,
there's so much money to be made, bro, in the league. You can go on a mid-table team, mate, and get paid a hell of a lot of money now, man. There's so much money out there, isn't there, to be had? The top guys are getting 50 mil a year, aren't they? There's so much money to be had out there, man. It's
nuts.
You can be a kind of average NBA player and get like 15 mil a year, can't you? And you might not even be that good. Nowhere near an all-star or anything, mate. There's that much money out there, man. Now, like you say, Harris will probably go somewhere and get similar to what he's already had. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
But I can just imagine like Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and Paul George would be a really good 3.
Yeah.
Really solid.
Then that's something, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we'll wait and see, mate. Next topic was something that was brought up by Ken, friend of the podcast. Shout out to Ken. He was talking about his Denver Nuggets and Jokic. He kind of put this question into the group chat we kind of got going on. He feels that the Nuggets probably and Jokic probably don't get the respect that they deserve. I know at the start of the season there was a big hoo-ha about the season opening on TNT, and on the graphic they didn't have any Denver player on the graphic, and I think that kind of because it was Denver opening the season, getting the rings from the title, and I think that kind of rose a lot of questions. It had got LeBron on there, obviously, but there was no Denver player on there. Do you think that the Nuggets and Jokic get the respect they deserve in the media, or do you think they get enough, or is it warranted?
I always think that the NBA always focuses on big market teams. They'll always focus on the Knicks. They'll always focus on the Nets. They'll always focus on the Clippers. They'll always focus on the Lakers. If you're not a big market, they're not going. Like Denver is. Don't get me wrong. Denver is meant to be a beautiful place, and they're meant to be great people. And they're one of the first people to legalize weed over there. So I think
shout out to Denver, man. Yeah,
I think most of America likes them too. But, it's not a sexy team. Well,
no.
the way Jokic plays basketball is sexy, but
how can you not enjoy watching him play, man?
He's poetry in motion. Sure. But I think they are getting disrespected quite a bit in terms of the media coverage. Like, they are the defending champions. I think they are. Yeah, they're the defending champions, and they're playing inspired basketball the last couple of years, and I'd say they could be odds on to win it all again. But they aren't getting their flowers right now, but they should be. They're a strong unit. They're really well coached, like exceptionally well coached by Malone. But I don't understand why. The only reason I can think they're being disrespected is because of their market, like their market size and their market share. It's probably not good for business for the Denver Nuggets to be NBA champions. They probably would prefer, like, even if it was like Boston or LA or New York, they'd love, like, the league benefits and league thrives when them teams are at their best. But yeah, I think people are disrespecting them at their peril. It's not going to be a good look for them if they go back to back. But yeah, they're a very, very solid team. They deserve to be treated with respect, and they deserve to be considered like one of the front runners for this title. And Jokic probably is going to win another MVP this year. Like, he's playing at such a high level that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think you nailed it, John. To be honest, it's it's kind of, I mean, first I want to point out that the Nuggets and Jokic are not disrespected on this podcast. That's for sure.
No.
We definitely give them their flowers, man, for sure. Like you say, I think it's big market, small market teams, isn't it? ESPN love to talk about what's going on with the Lakers, what's going on with the Knicks, because they're the big market teams, aren't they? So that's a kind of given. Nobody kind of talks about the Nuggets, and I think they're happy with that. They're happy to just kind of go under the radar. Everybody was talking about the Timberwolves and the Thunder at the beginning of the season because they were the top of the West. So, the Nuggets were like, yeah, fine, you carry on talking about them guys and we'll just carry on. And they started a bit slow this season, but eventually the cream rises to the top, as they say. And now, they're back as the 1 seed and probably going to stay there now, aren't they? So with Jokic, I think it gets to the point, it was a bit like this with Giannis a few years ago, where it's kind of like voter fatigue, where it's just like, oh, I can't vote for him again for MVP again. But I think Jokic is the best player in the league, and I don't think there's a debate there, John. I don't know if you agree with
that. I go back between it being Jokic and Giannis quite often.
It's a good debate. It's a good debate, bro.
Just for me with Giannis, it's just his two-way ability is, for me, just separates them a little bit more. But no, it's 1 and 2 for me. Like they're A and B, 1A, 1B. Yeah. For me, they're just both sensational players. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Like at this moment in time, it feels that the names on the back of the jersey are actually more important or more globally recognized than the names in the front. Like it used to be the other way around. But ever since Kareem and Magic, they're nearly almost bigger than Lakers. Kobe and Shaq, LeBron, even back in the day with Larry Bird and all them different teams, it's just there were a lot of kind of teams that were the team was bigger than the actual player, but now it's kind of going the other way around. Yeah. But I think that just because they don't pay in a big market, these teams are getting disrespected in terms of not even TV time, but just they are getting. They're not really. If they're in LA or if they're in a big city, they'd be lauded as one of the best teams of all time. Just of how dominant and how beautiful they play. And like Jokic should be, a star. He'd be like an uber superstar if he was playing in LA. Like they'd love him to death, and the media would be so.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely agreed. Yeah, I mean, I was watching the game the other night. They were playing. Have you got me, mate? Oh, he's gone. He might be back in a sec. I mean, Denver. They played together for so long now. They just seem like they're in a real groove. And other teams have to play really well for them to beat Denver. Denver don't have to play that good to still win games. When they played Dallas last weekend on the Sunday night, which I don't know if you caught it, John, but it was a really good game. Dallas had to play really well to even win. Denver didn't play that well, and they were still in the game right at the end. It took a ridiculous left-handed sky hook from Kyrie to win the game. So they're just at a point now, Denver are, where they know who they are, they know what to do. And when you unlock winning a title, you know what it takes to kind of get there again. And we were talking the other week, me and Belosfer on the show, that not many teams have won back-to-back. So if you can win back-to-backs, mate, your team then goes in another tier in terms of looking back at certain teams and things. It's tough to win back-to-back titles in this league, man. I don't know if you agree with that.
Oh, it's very tough. Like as a Lakers fan, I know all too well about winning back-to-back. But
absolutely.
But no, like it's like
teed you up with that one, didn't I?
Yeah, 100%. I was like, yes,
boy, let's knock that one out.
But no, it's so difficult to win back to back. Like, I remember hearing Kobe talk about it back in the day. He says like, I have the motivation. He says the motivation for different players, like you get consistency is so underappreciated in the NBA. Like if you're consistently very, very good, like it's a remarkable thing. But Kobe said that there's just some players that are just they're happy with their lot in life, whereas like they're not going to strive to do better or be better or to want more. Like they might like the best way I can think of it is like you have your Kobe Bryants and you have your Smush Parkers. Kobe was a killer and was just like, I want this, actually better one be Kobe and Nick Young. Kobe wanted more and more and more. Nick Young was just happy with his lot in life and happy being famous and dating celebrities and all that stuff. But no, this Denver team has just such a workman-like mentality. Like it's good when your biggest star has his 2 feet planted on the ground.
Yeah,
he's not his head's not too big. Like he didn't even want to go to the parade. He wanted to go and see his horses, which is fun.
Yeah.
But no, like they're a great team. They have a real shot of going back to back, and yeah, I've fair play to them.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate, absolutely. But you know, titles say kind of end all arguments, don't they? So whether we'll see if the Nuggets can win back to back, and then they definitely will be in the conversation for you know, best teams of the decade and things. So that's all the time we've got for tonight, and guys. So thanks very much, John, for hopping onto the podcast. Do you want to give yourself a shout out and tell people where they can find you on socials?
Yeah, no problem. And thanks very much for having me again. It's Jonathan K NBA on Twitter and Instagram.
So, mate, yeah, like I say, thanks very much for dropping into the podcast, man. It's always a pleasure to have you on, bro. I'm Matt at PostUp323. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. The podcast will be available later this evening on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts. And you can rewatch it on YouTube also. So we'll be back again next week, guys. So thanks a lot for tuning in, and we will see you again very soon. Take care.